Welcome back to Nick's Algebraics. Today we're going to talk about the distributive property, which is a property you're going to use a lot in algebra. But before we talk about the distributive property, let's talk about like terms. So, like terms are terms whose variables and exponents are the same. So basically, you could put them together. So for example, 5x plus 2x plus 6. The 5x and 2x are like terms because they have the same variable and the exponents are the same. They're both the power of 1. So we could combine this into 7x. But the 6 and the 2x, or the 6 and the 5x, are unlike terms because you can't put them together. This doesn't have an x here. They don't have the same variable. So this would just equal 7x plus 6. And an expression in simplest form is when it contains no like terms or parentheses. So when you see like terms, you could put them together, and that's when it's simplified. And you might also hear this word a lot, coefficient. It's basically just the numerical factor of a term. So if you see 8x, then the coefficient is the 8. Because it's a numerical factor of the term. It's basically the number that you're multiplying by the variable. And even if you see x over 3, then the number next to the variable is 1/3, because 1/3 x equals x over 3, if I just put like a 1 there and break it apart. So let's do an example. So let's simplify 9u plus 8u. So we know that these are like terms because they have the same variable, u, and they're both to the power of 1. So what we can do is we could combine them. We could combine this into 9 plus 8, u, which is going to equal 17u. So for this, there are some like terms and some unlike terms. As you can see, we can combine the 3t and the t because they have the same variable and their exponent is both to the power of 1. So we could combine 3t minus t, which is basically just 1t, into 2t. And we can't do anything with the 6t squared because it's an unlike term. And you can't combine t squared and t because they have different exponents. So that's all you can do to this one. So now we could actually get into the distributive property. So the distributive property says that if you have a times b plus c, then you could distribute that a and make this into ab plus ac. And even when there's a minus, it's the same thing. It's just going to be ab minus ac. And when you see AB plus AC, you could even kind of reverse this property and take out an A from it. And you could put it back into A times B plus C. So let's do an example. So let's rewrite this expression using the distributive property, and then let's simplify. So we could distribute the 7. So that's going to equal 7 times 3w minus 7 times 5. So 7 times 3w, that's going to equal 21w. And 7 times 5 is 35. So it's going to equal 21w minus 35. So let's do the same thing with this. So we're going to distribute the 4. So this is going to equal 4 times 6v squared plus 4v minus 4 times 3. And as you can see, I kept the sign the same when it was needed. So 4 times 6v squared is 24v squared, and 4v is just 4v, and 4 times 3 is 12. And that's it, you can't combine anything. So in this case, we're going to distribute a negative. So it's going to be negative 3 times 2 minus negative 3 times 5q. So negative 3 times 2 is negative 6, minus the negative 3 times 5q, which is negative 15q. And if you remember from a couple videos ago, a double negative makes a positive. So it's going to be negative 6 plus 15q. And we could rearrange this using the commutative property and make this 15q minus 6. So now let's do a word problem. So use the expression twice the difference of 3x and y increased by 5 times the sum of x and 2y. Write an algebraic expression for the verbal expression, and simplify the expression and indicate the properties used. So first, let's write the expression. So let's start with the beginning. Twice the difference of 3x and y. So the difference of 3x and y is just 3x minus y, because difference means subtraction. And twice means that you're doubling it, so you're multiplying it all by 2. Then the second part is increased by 5 times the sum of x and 2y. So increased by means that we're adding, so plus, and the sum of x and 2y is x plus 2y, because sum means addition, and it's 5 times that, so it's all times 5. So now let's simplify the expression and indicate the property used. So to simplify, we're going to use the distributive property. So 2 times 3x minus 2y plus 5x plus 5 times 2y. And we use a distributive property there. So now we can clean it up a bit and multiply. So 2 times 3x is 6x, and 2 times y is 2y, and 5 times x is 5x, and 5 times 2y is 10y. So there we just use multiplication. So now we can use the commutative property and rearrange this so that all the variables are in the same area. So we're going to put 6x plus 5x minus 2y plus 10y using the commutative property of addition. And the reason why I put the x's on one side and y's on the other side is because they are like terms and we can combine them. So 6x plus 5x is 11x, and negative 2y plus 10y is 8y, because negative 2 plus 10 is 8. So there we use substitution, because we substituted 6x plus 5x with 11x, and we substituted negative 2y plus 10y into 8y. And that's it for today's video. So I'll post a worksheet with the solutions, and don't forget to subscribe, like the video, comment down below, and turn on your notifications. I'll see you soon.